So if you have any questions, anything that you would like to discuss or explore, please unmute yourself. Also in the reaction icon at the bottom of the screen, you can also choose to raise your hand. Any questions? Hello, George.
Hi there, Magdi. I don't have a question, but an observation, a sharing, news perhaps. For years, you've been telling us who we are not and who we are, and I never got it. You would keep saying it, and I'd say, but I don't get it. And I'm beginning to get it. Okay, I think I'm just at the cusp, the beginning of getting it, because I can see now that my essence is this beingness, this sense of existence, and that the personhood is here, but not my essence.
Yes.
And that's about as far as I've gotten. Okay, the stuff about being well, it is borderless, but I mean, but anyhow, that's as far as I've gotten, and I'm very happy to have gotten that far.
Very nice. Yes.
Thank you.
The next thing to probably comprehend is that there is one essence.
Yes, I don't get that. There's only been several days since I got this. I need to be patient. Yes.
Yes, that's okay. But my essence and the essence of my perceptions, of my thoughts, of my body is the same essence, one essence. It's the essence, my essence and the essence of mind is the same essence. But my essence and the essence of the world, meaning what I perceive, what I experience, is the same essence, one essence. And that my essence and the essence of my imagination is the same essence, it's one essence. In my imagination that imagines other essences, the essence of Magdi or the essence of a lizard is different from my essence. Like the essence of this imagination is my essence, it's that one essence. So the essence of the lizard, which I'm imagining to be different from my essence, for example, I'm not saying that you are, is also my essence. It's my essence. Anyways, so that will bring it to conclusion. Any questions? Any questions? No, Marie? Let's see. You have to unmute yourself.
Hi, it's Mari. Hi, Magdi.
Oh, hello. Yes.
I don't think I have a question exactly, but I seem to be stuck in an experience over and over again of waking up in a lot of fear. It's like physical, mental, emotional. I'd say it's been going on for about a year. And I feel like I'm losing my sense of self, and not in a good way, like, ooh, yeah, not in a non-dual way, like just like I feel crazy. I don't really know what to make of it. And when I try to do some kind of meditation that only works when I'm feeling calm, which is at night, I don't find it helpful to do, and I find it impossible to inquire into because it's just so strong. So I think to my the it just feels like there's no way through it or out. It's just pure suffering.
So maybe it's not really comforting, you know, what I'm going to say, but it's okay. It's part of the path. It's part of the journey, you know. The suffering, the fear is somehow they have a role to play in our human experience. They serve a purpose. It's not the end game, of course. But they point to something that is beyond them, beyond the fear, beyond the stuckness. It's like when you are locked up in a room, you experience that you are locked up in the room only because you know that there is outside the room, that there is an experience outside of the room. And so you experience an unhappiness in being locked up in the room. And because of this unhappiness, you look for a way to find the key to the door and exit the room. So what we call the suffering is part of that equation, you know. And in a way, what we do here, what we explore here is that very question that you posed, you know. The suffering, the unhappiness, the sense of stuckness, and what is freedom? How do we access the freedom? You know? the freedom that our heart knows and our mind knows and our body desires, our entire being desires that. There is built in within the human organism is fear. There is an intelligent fear. Fearing, you hear a sound at night, in the middle of the night, everything is quiet and you hear a sound right outside of your door. It evokes a fear. And this is an intelligent fear because there could be some danger to your body mind. There could be somebody trying to break in. Or when we hear a sound in the bush, when you're out for a hike, it could be a snake, right? So there is intelligent fear that's programmed within our being, within our body mind, within our DNA, which serves a function of protecting, as best as possible, the body, the mind, for survival and for creation. The psychological fear that we are speaking, there's another fear, which is the psychological fear, which the fear you are speaking about has to do with an erroneous, mistaken identity. That when we believe or feel that awareness is a woman, is a person, is a body mind, is a person. When there is this identification, this confusion between awareness, which is the reality right now, which is hearing these words, the reality which is, and we feel that this reality, this I is a body, is a female body, or whatever, is a daughter, mother, sister, whatever. Then because of this this belief and this feeling, we identify consciousness with the body mind. And so then we experience not just this intelligent fear when we hear a sound in the bush on a hike. No, we don't. It's more than that. We could be safely at home, comfortable, if we experience a fear about, oh my God, what's going to happen to me tomorrow? When am I going to experience freedom? Or when am I going to get my desires fulfilled? Of course, the body has desires and needs, intelligent desires and needs. But I'm talking about this identification where I am a woman, I'm a person. So your question is about freedom, freedom from unhappiness, freedom is joy, is happiness, is beauty, is love. Freedom is it. Freedom is wonderful. So your question is about that. So, but as long as you continue to live as I am a woman, I'm a person, I'm a nature, the body is not a problem. Is a female body, is a teacher, is a artist, is whatever the body is. It's not a problem. There's no problem about it. Maybe a good mother, maybe a bad sister, maybe whatever. It doesn't matter. It's about the body. It's about the body mind. You see, it's like you have a car, and the car works really good, but one tire is a little bit, needs more air, or some sound, something with the carburetor, whatever. It's about the vehicle. But if you are the vehicle, if you continue to live like you are the car, like you are the person, like you are the body, then, well, then anything that happens to the car is happening to you because you are the car. I mean, you cannot avoid experiencing, oh my God, I am getting a flat tire, or my carburetor needs to be fixed. You cannot avoid that because you are the car, you see. When you are the body, when then you experience something, oh, my God, it's my knee that is, hurting. It is my body which is aging. It is you feel it's that I am the body, not that I am aging. Like the car is aging, like I am the car aging, I am the body aging. It's the same thing, you see. Because we have an experience of the car, we drive it, we fix it, we clean it, we wash it, we change the oil, etc. We have the same, a similar experience with the body. We feed it, we clean it, we give it rest, we give it company, we take it to the theater, etc. With the body. Same thing, you see. And we enjoy the car, you see. We enjoy the car, we enjoy the body. Sometimes we don't enjoy the car, and sometimes we don't enjoy the body. Darn, get out of my way in a way, So you give it aspirin, I don't know what you do, whatever you do. So, but the thing is, you have to live. You have to live like, okay, I have a car. It's a nice car. I like the car, but it's just a darn car. Sooner or later, this car is gonna become obsolete. Same thing with the body. I like the body, I care for the body, but it's just a darn body. It's just a body mind. It's just a functioning organism. Sooner or later, it's going to become a clunker. But you are not going to become a clunker. I have to be clear about what is you. In this moment, what is you? Is you the name of the body, Marie, of the body? No, that's the name of the body. Is you the color of the hair? No, the color of the hair is you the height of the body? No, it's the height of the body. You have to be clear about what is you. You is always on board as what? As awareness, as consciousness, as reality, as it's invisible. It's not that which is visible. And right now, you are not visible. You are the perceiving aspect. You are the awareness aspect. It's that's true. I mean, it's not like, oh wow, no, it's basic, But you have to sort of notice that. Yes, I am the awareness aspect. I am the reality. I am the changeless aspect of that which is changing, which is appearing, or the body is aging, the world is changing, day and night are changing. It's winter, then it's summer, then it's spring, etc. I am the changeless aspect, the reality aspect, the awareness aspect of the experience. So when you have this clarity, then you have to live as this clarity, meaning you take care of your car when it's needed. When it's not needed, you park it in the garage. You forget about it. You're not even thinking about it. It's the same thing with your thoughts. They appear to you. Some thoughts say, it's time to have dinner. Right? Because somehow the body mind are working together. The body needs some nutrition. The mind, the thought appears, nice salad, nice just pasta or whatever. So you perceive the thoughts. You act upon it or you don't act upon it. You may have pasta, you may not. You may have it, I don't know, salad, what it doesn't. You don't identify with the car, with the color of the car, with the sound of the car, with the shape of the car, with how flat the tires are, or how you don't identify. You simply do what is required, what is needed. So then you say about, okay, I'm feeling so down, I'm feeling so sad, so alone. Well, there are two aspects. If you're feeling alone, you can call some friends or invite some friends over for dinner, or you can go out for a walk and you will see the sky, you will hear the sound of the birds. You may not feel that alone. Or you may feel alone, like lonely. You feel depressed. Then you can take a look at it. Because you don't need to meditate. You said you meditate. You can forget about the meditate. Don't meditate. Because you're meditating, you're trying to sort of put some whitewash over the wall, you know. You want to whitewash things. Feeling depressed, and you can explore, you know, what's going on. You can take a look at that. There are many ways of taking a look at that, but we explore that in our meetings. Often we explore that in our meetings. To take a look at feeling depressed. Yes. I'm not going to go through that now, but other times you can go through that. How to explore, to investigate. So you can develop some skills, not in order to feel better, but to come to a deeper understanding about you, about your life, about the situation, about life in general. You have to come to a deeper understanding. There are many understandings that are very helpful. It's not therapy. Its understanding is about truth. Most basic understanding is I am the reality which perceives. I am not the body-mind which I'm perceiving. I'm not the body-mind which I'm experiencing. I am the reality which perceives. This is called viveka, the discrimination between that which is changeless and that which is changing. Then you have the understanding about living lightly. You know, like when you step on the sand, you step lightly. Stepping lightly. Living lightly. So you experience the world with a certain degree of dispassion. You respond, but it's not like, it's not a matter of life and death. Oh my God. You respond lightly. Things can go this way, can go that way. It's okay. This way, I would have preferred it that way, but it went this way. All right, I made it. Just live the flow. Not so, oh, this is so crazy. Of course, there will be times where you will feel strong emotions. It will pass. At the moment, it feels like it's the end of the world, I know. But it will pass. In time, you realize, oh, even that will pass. Anyways, you can inquire into your experience, investigate your experience. And via the investigating and the inquiry into your experience, understanding will arise for you you will have understanding. And the understanding liberates, frees you, liberates you from false beliefs. And the main core false belief is that I am a woman, I'm a person. And then the next question is how to live as presence, how to live as being, not as being somebody, not as being a daughter or sister, as being. How to somehow live your understanding. In life, all sorts of situations appear to you. And you never know what's around the corner. How to live moment by moment. Because who cares about what's around the corner? Nobody has a crystal ball, right? But you can respond in the moment. And we can learn that to respond out of love, out of intelligence, out of a place of peace is a probably better road to take. And sometimes intelligence can tell you to respond in, hey, no, leave me alone. It doesn't, intelligence, peace, and does not mean to be like a jellyfish. No. Sometimes peace and intelligence can tell you to say no and to close the door when you need to close the door. You don't know ahead of time, but when the time arises, you will know. And take this suffering not as God is trying to make your life miserable, but there are some messages, there is some learning, there are some opportunities, rather than get all wrapped up in the suffering. Be open to the possibility that there is some learning, some message that somehow is being delivered to you as a bitter pill, maybe. And don't forget, we only suffer as a person. We never suffer as a reality, as consciousness. We only suffer as a person, meaning when we are identified with the person needs identification. You identify with your car and somebody scratches your beautiful car. You will suffer. So suffering has to do with identification. Only as a person. I am a person, I suffer. I'm a woman, I suffer. I'm a sister, I suffer. The body is a woman, I don't suffer. The body is a sister or a daughter, I don't suffer. Take a look at that. So try it out, try it out. To be a person means suffering. I know people don't like to hear that, but take a look at that. See, maybe maybe there's something there. And some people may say, what is it not to be a person? How can I not be a person? Simply don't add on. Don't add on the person. Right now, it's just this presence, this conversation, this, you don't need to add on a person. We don't need to add on a me. I am this, you are that. And to notice when the I am this and you are that arises, you see, when you notice that, that's good. You're noticing, oh, I am feeling like this, he or she is like that. In this noticing, there is freedom. So the noticing is an important element. And the judging, you say, I am this and he or she is that. I am good, they're bad, I'm bad, they're good, etc. You know, the whole that nightmare, you know, good and bad, better than anyone else. All of that is identification. It's not necessary. The body-mind is equipped with all it needs, and it's not separate from the world. We are not separate from the world. Whatever is needed is there. But the person is insatiable, always wanting more, wanting more, wanting more, because the person exists as an activity, as a movement, as a gathering, hoarding, accumulating, sort of like defending, you know, defending the ghost, you know. You know how the body develops some fat, protect the body during the winter. This is normal, it's the intelligence of the body. The person is accumulating psychological fat to protect themselves, to survive the winter. And the winter is their death. The death. We are trying to protect ourselves from the inevitable because we're identified. Anyways. Hello, Ambika. I think you may need to unmute yourself.
Hi, Megdi. How are you?
Hello.
I have a question which is about death. What or who is leaving the body at death?
Well, you know, at death, a lot of fluids leave the body. I mean, I'm not very knowledgeable concerning this question. I'm sorry, Ambika, but more or less, I think there are a lot of fluids that leave the body. The body,
Yeah.
over time, it shrinks, and so that's what leaves the body. I don't know. Anybody has some medical
No, it's not. It's not about the medic. My question is not the medical part of it. It can't be the consciousness that leaves the body,
Oh,
because consciousness is always there. Can't be the mind. I don't know what is it.
I see. Okay.
Mm,
Consciousness is not in the body, or is not
exactly.
in the lungs or in the liver or in the gut. No.
Right.
By consciousness, in Bika, we are talking about awareness, or the reality which perceives right now, which is the reality.
Right.
Is I know I am,
Right.
and which knows that it is aware. Not only it knows it is, but it knows it is aware. It is aware, and it knows, and it's aware that it's aware. Yes.
Yes.
That reality is right now. Without this reality, without consciousness, there would not be awareness of this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The body, mind are instruments, tools, via which consciousness can perceive this screen, can hear these English words. These words are spoken in English, and can discern various shades of colors, etc. So the body mind is the instrument via which consciousness can perceive this perception. But this does not mean that consciousness is inside the instrument. When you use a pair of binoculars to look, or you use a telescope to look at the sky, you are not inside the telescope. You are the perceiver via the telescope, via the instrument, you are perceiving the stars in the galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
So consciousness is not inside the instrument, is not the instrument.
Right.
Now, concerning mind, we have to be clear about the meaning of the word mind. Usually we use the word mind to refer to thoughts, for example.
Right.
Thoughts appear to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, the thought, today is Sunday, appears to you. It is perceived, a thought is perceived, but you are not the thought, you are the perceiving aspect.
Right.
You are the awareness which perceives the thought. So you are not the thought. Now, you perceive the thought, today is Sunday, but you perceive the thought today is Sunday via the body mind, via the instrument, like a binocular or a telescope, which is the brain or the body mind is functioning. And via the functioning of this instrument, you use this instrument and make it function in a certain way, then you perceive the thought. So the thought, meaning the mind, is connected to the body. It operates via the brain, via the cells, via the breath. And via the universe, because you are breathing the universe. You're breathing air, and there are molecules and all sorts of protons and gluons and all sorts of things operating in the body in connection with the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not two separate things. The universe and the body are not two separate things. So via the universe and via the body mind, there is a thought that is created. It's created by consciousness, and it's perceived by consciousness. It's created and perceived by consciousness. So when the body mind dies, then the thought today is Sunday no longer appears.
Because the instrument doesn't exist anymore.
Absolutely, no longer
Right.
appears. So therefore, you're no longer perceiving, you meaning consciousness, is no longer perceiving today is Sunday, is no longer perceiving this body is a female body and the name of this body is Ambika. The consciousness is no longer perceiving the sunrise or perceiving your neighborhood or your village or your home or your bank account, because the body mind is dead. But the main thing to understand is that consciousness does not die.
Right.
The mind may die, this particular mind, which perceives today is Sunday, that arises in time and space, but consciousness does not arise in time and space. It is not subject to variables. It is not subject to causality. It is not the effect of a cause or a cause of an effect. It is reality. So who cares what leaves the body when the body dies? What matters is to understand that which does not die, that which is that to which a body appears, and from which a body appears. The body does not appear out of a womb. The body appears from consciousness, because the womb appears from consciousness, and it appears to consciousness. You see? So in the movie,
Yeah.
the horse is running, and there is a dog that's chasing the horse. So the horse is running, doesn't want the dog to, doesn't like the dog. It's in the movie, oh, the horse is running away from the dog. But in fact, there is no horse and there is no dog. There is a movie with frames, still frames. And as you
Rotate.
spin those frames in front of a light source, then it appears like there is a horse running and it's a dog chasing him. In the reality of the movie is you sitting in the theater. You are sitting in the theater. You are watching the movie. And then you get tired and you stop the movie and you go to sleep. The movie is only your creation. You create the movie, you watch the movie. You turn off the movie whenever you want to turn off the movie. But if you believe yourself to be a person, you go, what do you mean I cannot turn this movie? I am in the movie. But you are not in the movie. You're perceiving the movie. You're the awareness. To believe yourself to be in the movie, to believe yourself to be Ambika, then you are in the movie, but not really. Because you're perceiving the movie. How could you be perceiving the movie and be in the movie? The only way for you to perceive the movie and to be in the movie is if the movie is you. if the movie is you. But for the movie to be you, then it's not only Ambika, which is you, but also the sunshine is you, the lake is you, the river is you, the house is you, the mountain is you, everything is you, the universe is you. Then yes, you and consciousness and you, Ambika, are one, as long as also everything else is also you, not just Ambika. In ignorance, we believe I am in the movie as Ambika, as Megdi, as a separate person. You see, we overlook the awareness aspect. We overlook the reality of our experience, which is this invisible, non-phenomenal reality, which we refer to as awareness, consciousness.
Okay, so there is no real thing that leaves the body.
Well, when you say real thing, when you say real, you're saying reality, right?
Reality is only consciousness.
Reality,
and consciousness.
Reality does not leave. Does reality leave? Where would it go?
Right. So it stays, it is. And the body mind is just in the movie. I'm perceiving it.
Yes, you are perceiving the body mind. You're perceiving your perception. It's not that there is a body mind out there sitting on a chair and you're perceiving this body mind. You're perceiving your creation. You're perceiving your perception, because your perception right now, if you look at, for example, the sensation of your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Where is the sensation? Where is it? Is it 2 feet away from you or 1 foot away from you?
No, it's in me.
Yes, it's intimate with you. It's one with you.
Mhm.
When you look at your image, let's say you have an image of Ambika. Where is this image? It's intimate with you.
Right.
Intimate with consciousness. When you look at the sensation of the breath, the sensation of the breath, it is one with awareness, with consciousness, right?
Yes.
So you're not just perceiving the movie, or you're perceiving the body mind. You're perceiving your own yourself, your own creation, because everything you're perceiving is not separate from consciousness, right?
Okay.
So in a way, you're moment by moment, you're perceiving yourself. You're creating and perceiving it at the same time, moment, instant by instant. You follow?
Okay.
It's not that there is something out there on the corner and you're going to go perceive it in 2 minutes or in 5 minutes.
I'm not different from what I am perceiving.
That which you are perceiving is not separate from you, from consciousness. The perceived is not separate from the perceiver of that which is perceived, right? Experientially, talking experientially. I'm not talking from, I'm not talking theoretically, I'm talking experientially. You have to see that that which is perceived and that which perceives are not two.
Okay.
Do you see that?
I think I understand it. I don't know if I see it or experientially.
Okay, well, right now you're hearing these words, right?
Yeah.
That's a perception, right?
Yes.
Is the hearing or are the words experientially right now, these words, are these words and the hearing of these words, are they two? Experientially.
No.
So these words and the hearing of these words are one.
Mhm.
Yes. And
Yes.
the hearing of these words and the hearer of these words, right now, experientially, the hearing and the hearer, whatever it is that hears, are they two?
No.
The hearing and whatever it is that hears, is there like a hearing and experientially? Is there a hearing, like hearing these words right now, like a hearing, and a hearing element or a hearing aspect that is different, that is apart, that is 1 millimeter apart from the hearing?
No.
So therefore, that which is perceived is not separate. Zero, 100% is not separate
Mhm.
from awareness, from consciousness. You agree?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's good. The next thing is to, experientially, okay, not philosophically, not theoretically, experientially, you know that which is perceived, although it is not separate from consciousness, although it is not separate from the perceiving element, is constantly changing. But the perceiving
Yes.
element does not change.
Doesn't change. Yes. That I can. Yes.
And if we decide to speak about creation,
Mhm.
because experientially they are not two. There is the changeless aspect and the changing aspect, because they are not two. And if we speak about creation, then we can say, well, if there is a creation, it is the changeless aspect which is creating. It is not the changing aspect which is creating, because a thought does not create another thought. A perception does not create another perception. So we can come to the conclusion that there is, if we decide to speak about creation, that the creative element or the creative aspect is consciousness. And the perceiving aspect, which you already talked about, is consciousness.
Creating and the perceiving, yes, is consciousness. Yes.
So therefore, we can come to the understanding, there is creation and perceiving, and perceiving is creation and perception, and they belong to the same element. They belong to the same reality. Both the creation,
yes,
belongs to the changeless aspect, and the perception.
How
and the
did we jump
perception.
to that now? We said the creator and the perceiver are the same, yes.
Yes, and at the
But
same time, we create and perceive moment by moment by moment by moment. That is why we say one of the attributes of consciousness is creation. Not only awareness, but also creation, which is the Shakti aspect, the movement aspect of stillness, of consciousness, of the unmovable, of the unmoving. There is the reality is peace in stillness and joy and creation in movement. You follow?
yeah. I think I do.
The creative aspect belongs to consciousness, of course, and it's infinite, infinite. The firmament, the galaxies and beyond, and all of creation, the complexity of the human body, the complexity of the gravity or creation, thought, colors, shapes, sounds. The creative potential of consciousness is infinite. So I refers to awareness. It also refers to creation. I, reality. I create and I perceive out of my infinite freedom and my love for creation. Hello, Manoj.
Hi, Magdi. Can you
hello.
hear me?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that was a very profound discussion. Actually, I loved it. Of course, I was able to follow it mentally, not experientially. But uh, I have a question, follow-up question on that. Like, if perception is, it is the same thing that whatever is perceiving and perception, they are one and same thing, right? I feel like that's what I understood. The yeah, the question, like, so perception that is happening and whatever is perceiving that is one and same thing. That's why it can perceive it. So question is, why does it require a medium to perceive something? Why can't perception? It's more of a theoretical question.
Yes.
Because I'm very far away experientially from
Mhm.
even I'm not qualified to ask this question, but my mind is
Mhm.
restless with that. If perception and the object of perception and the sensation, they are one and same thing, and so why there is a need of a medium, body mind,
Mhm.
to
Okay.
perceive for the consciousness to perceive anything, if it is.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Manoj, there is a concept about the brain. there is a concept, let's say, the brain. But without the concept of the brain, what is the brain? So try to remove the concept, the brain. You can go pre-concept, before the concept, the brain. What is the brain? Experientially. Let's right now see if we can remove the concept, the brain, and experientially see what is the brain. What would be your answer to this question?
Yeah, without concept, I don't even know there is a brain. I mean, I don't have any experience of it.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Without the concept, the brain, there is no brain, but there is awareness.
Yes.
Right. There is no brain, there is awareness, whatever that is.
Right.
Right. So when we say there is awareness, meaning there is perception, perceiving.
Right.
But there is no brain, yes, there is perceiving, right?
Yes.
Right. Now, let's try to remove the concept, the body, or the concept of an instrument. Let's right now there is an instrument, we call it the body, right?
Yeah.
Let's do the same thing. Let's remove the concept, the body, remove the concept of instrument,
Right.
remove the concept of an observer, remove the concept of something being observed. Right? Let me not get too complicated. Let's just stay with, let's remove the concept of the body.
Yeah.
Then what is experientially, what is the instrument? If we have removed the concept of the body.
Yeah, then there is no instrument, or we don't know, or I don't know at least.
Yes, and yet there is awareness, right?
Yes and no, right? Because I can hear you only because I have ears and the instrument to.
Wait. You say we remove the body, and now you're introducing the hearing. We remove the body, we remove the hearing, we remove the concept of hearing. Let me see. Let's remove the concept of the senses. How about that? Not the body, all of the senses. Let's remove that concept, the concept of hearing, the concept of perceiving, the concept of sensing. Let's remove these concepts.
I see. Okay.
Let's remove these concepts. I know I'm doing like a theoretical, exercise, but after all,
that's good. Yeah.
After all, there is such a thing as a concept of hearing. Say, I hear you, there must be a concept called hearing, which is distinct from the concept swimming, or this distinct from the concept eating chocolate.
Right.
So I'm removing the concept of all the senses.
Okay.
And then what is experientially the instrument?
I mean, based on my limited knowledge or understanding, I think if, I might be mixing my current conception and knowledge here. Like, for example, if I remove my ears, I can't hear. If I remove my eyes, I can't see. So if I remove my body, I can't pretty much perceive.
We're not removing the ears, we're not removing the eyes, we're removing the concepts.
Okay. But in reality, yeah, even if concept, right? But in reality, if we remove these instruments, we don't perceive anything, or that's maybe I'm stuck on that point.
Okay.
Because if we remove the senses of perception altogether, then is there a perception? Then perception of what?
All right. So you're taking, okay. Let me pause it for a second.
Maybe I'm on the
Okay.
wrong track.
It's okay. No,
Sorry.
you're on the right track. You're fine. The exercise that I just presented to you was about removing the concepts
Right.
and what remains of an instrument. There is no concept of any instrument. In the absence of any concept of an instrument, there is no medium, because that was your initial question, is why does consciousness need a medium? And when you remove the concept of a medium, there is no medium, and yet there is still awareness. Now your question is, well, maybe if we actually remove the ears and the eyes, if we actually kill the body, I think that's where you're going, because if you remove all the senses, you're killing the body, right? I mean,
right. Yeah.
so you're saying if we remove all the senses, then what is the medium? Am I formulating your question, or what is?
I think my question was why, if perception and what is being perceived is one and same thing, maybe it's an invalid question. I don't know. If perception and what is being perceived, let's say the sound is being perceived, and whatever that is perceiving the sound, they are one and same thing. Then what is the need of a medium in between to?
Yes.
Basically, if we remove the medium of mind and body, will perception perceive the sound?
Yes, I got it.
If we want, yeah.
No, if you remove the body and the mind, then the perception of a sound, via the sound being defined as a vibration, as some auditory, there was some crystals there in the inner ear, and they're getting stimulated by waves of having defined hearing a sound as that activity, as that function.
Yep.
When you remove this function, then you are also removing the activity of this function, which is sound, hearing sounds. Yes. And unfortunately, we have conducted some experiments like that with animals, it's very cool. But yes, right. Now, other question that you had, which I thought I heard you say, is in the absence of all the senses, meaning in the absence of the body-mind, is that the end of perception? And the answer to your question is no. It is the end of a particular type of perception which has to do with the body-mind functioning.
I see.
But it is not the end of perception.
I see. Okay.
Now
that makes sense. Yeah.
You may ask, well, what sort of perception remains?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that this feeling of awareness or I amness or beingness, which I feel like at times I feel that is independent of any bodily sensations, or that could stay. I can just extrapolate. I haven't had that experience, but I can imagine maybe that only that sense remains. I could be wrong.
Well, yes, awareness or being is independent, meaning does not depend on phenomenal perceptions. But phenomenal perceptions depend on awareness. They require awareness. Awareness does not require perception, does not require phenomenal perception. By the very fact that between every perception, you don't cease to exist.
Hmm.
Our experience seems to be uninterrupted perceptions. But as soon as we say perceptions, meaning more than one perception, there must be a gap between a perception and another perception. Otherwise, we would not use the plural.
Hmm.
Given that we are using the plural, and correctly so, because every perception is different,
Yeah.
their implication is that there is a gap, or there is something which is not a perception
Hmm.
between perceptions, and that something is I don't cease to disappear. I don't disappear. I don't cease to be between perceptions.
Hmm.
So awareness consciousness, by the very fact that it is in the absence of two perceptions,
Hmm.
meaning between two perceptions, is a good contemplation for you to consider in looking at your question.
Hmm.
What is awareness? What is perceived? Or what is awareness in the absence of perceptions? In the absence of perceptions, awareness is, meaning I am, awareness is, which brings us to Satchitananda. I, meaning amness, being, and awareness, which is Chit aspect of consciousness. I am, and I know that I am. Being, awareness, presence, knowingness, remain. So the experience is that of being, knowingness, what we refer to as a non-phenomenal being or knowingness. Sometimes they use the term noumenal, the noumenal knowingness of the self, the noumenal knowingness of consciousness, which is overlooked in the presence of perceptions. Because
Right.
being awareness, which is between perceptions, does not cease to be in the presence of the perception. It takes on the form of a perception, but it does not cease to be. So there is an overlooking. This Satchitananda consciousness overlooks itself and says, I no longer am awareness, consciousness, being, formless presence and being. I am now a form. That is the case in ignorance. In wisdom, in Sahaja Samadhi, this form, meaning when in the presence of perception, consciousness is not overlooked. It knows itself as a perception, and it knows itself as the creator and the perceiver of all perceptions, of all thoughts, of all sensations.
Understood. Yeah. That's very profound explanation. Thank you, Magdi.
Okay.
I still have a follow-up question. Maybe I don't know.
Yes.
It's too late.
No, go ahead.
I mean, because and it is stuck with me for a very long time. Because I still have confusion with even that goes with the previous question of the death. Anyhow, I don't want to get into that. Maybe next time. But see, somehow I am not at least intellectually, I'm not able to convince myself that it is consciousness that is deluded or is in the hypnosis state, thinking that it's body and mind, because it has to be strongly augmented or supported by body minds. Body mind has some contribution to that, or they are the one who are holding on to that uh, uh, assumption or ignorance that consciousness is body mind. Because I think that because when in the deep sleep, like there is no REM movement, or we are really in the deep sleep, not even dreaming, uh, there is no perception happening. Consciousness is, or at least theoretically I read, is itself by itself, because there is no object of perception. And so if in that state, when consciousness is by itself and it knows that it exists and there is no delusion, then how does it get deluded again when I wake up? So
Yes.
that I might be mixing a lot of concepts here, but I'm stuck with that.
There is
Uh,
one assumption that you are making. You are confusing the deep sleep state with sahaja samadhi. In the deep sleep state, consciousness is resting in the absence of perceptions, no perceptions,
right.
but it's not resting in its own knowingness. It's like you dim the lights so slow, like a dimmer of the light. You turn the lights down, so low
Right.
that you don't perceive anything.
I see.
But the light is not off. It's dimmed down.
I see.
In the sahaja samadhi, it's turned off. It's a limited metaphor, okay?
Yeah.
In the sahaja samadhi, there is no more a switch. There is no longer a switch. There is no longer on-off switch. There is no more distinction, no longer a distinction between states. All the states are illumined with self-knowingness. So, like, for example, you could say baby mind, the baby mind, is a little bit similar to the deep sleep because it hasn't yet formally concept.
I see.
In a similar way, it's a different, but there isn't yet, the baby state is not the sahaja state because there hasn't yet been the self-knowingness. There is the diffuse experience of consciousness where all perceptions are sort of so dimmed down that you cannot distinguish. The baby can't distinguish, oh, this is a door, this is a table, the moon is, I don't know how many miles away. The baby can reach for the moon to catch the moon. The concept of distance, for example,
right,
different from the sahaja.
I see.
Self-knowingness. Did I overlook? I think maybe I overlooked a part of your initial question. I forgot what it was. Forgot what it was. But that's an important question that you need to dig a little bit more in it. And please rephrase your question if it continues to arise for you, because it's an important
question. I think it was about body mind having some contribution to this.
Oh, yes.
Staying in the state of ignorance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, in ignorance, we believe it is the body mind that is doing this. The doer or the perceiver or the actor is a body mind.
Right.
Imagine you have like a robot, and you are using the robot to build cars. To the robots, they building the cars. And imagine the robot is thinking and believing and feeling, I am building the cars. But the robot is not building the cars. Because there is a computer program that has been created, and there is, and all the parts of the robot have been created, the wiring for the robot, the exact details of the robot. And the robot is perceiving. They have eyes, and they perceive, for example, when is a certain image appears to them, they realize, oh, I have to put in the screw.
Right.
For example, they're perceiving, oh, this is, the radius is 4 millimeter. That means I have to put in bolt number 17, not bolt number 14, etc.
Yeah.
It can be a very complex computer that can even hear, it's just sitting there. When it hears a certain sound, it activates a certain subroutine, to make the job, to perform the task. The body mind in ignorance is believed to be the doer, the thinker, but the body mind is, you perceive the body mind, you perceive a sensation, meaning your awareness, you perceive image. What is the body mind experiential? Right now, Manoj, the body mind, you experience the body mind as a concept, for example.
Yeah.
When you perceive the concept, you are the perceiving element of the concept. But you perceive the body mind as a sensation, for example, the sensation of your back against the chair.
Right.
That's a bodily, this bodily sensation appears to you, is an appearance. Appears to you. You don't appear. You are the awareness aspect. You are not the form. You are not an object, but you perceive the sensation. And of course, the body mind appears to you. If you look at your hand, you say, oh, this is my pinky, this is my index, etc., etc. You perceive an image in the mirror. You look in the mirror, you perceive a perception. You say, oh, this is Manoj's face. You are the perceiving element of perceiving the body.
Yes.
So is it the body that is perceiving the body? Does an object perceive? Does a sensation or a perception perceive? What is it? The body that is perceiving is a good question. Or is the body perceived? If the body, you have to look, you have to find for yourself. If the body you conclude is perceived, then you have to ask yourself, is something perceived? Does that which is perceived perceive?
Yeah, I don't believe that body perceives itself. It has to be something other than body.
I perceive.
Yeah.
It's I. Something else is I. I perceive.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I consciousness, awareness, perceive.
Right.
It's an easy one. I perceive. But so the doer, is similarly, you replace the word perceiving with doing. It depends how you define doing, because you could say the robot is building the car. It depends how you define the activity. If you define the activity, but in fact, it is not really, in reality, it's not the robot that is doing. It is doing via the computer expert, via the programmer or whatever.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So then that leads you to a better understanding about the body mind.
No, that is good. Yeah.
there's also the metaphor of the dream, the night dream. Manoj.
Mhm.
In the night dream, there are so many things that you do. You fly, you have a conversation with people, etc. In the night dream. But in fact, all your night dream activities are the creation of the dreamer, and even identifying yourself as this particular person in the dream, in the night dream, also the creation of the dreamer. Because when the dreamer wakes up, realizes, oh no, I didn't go to China. No, I didn't fly to Japan. No, I didn't win $1 million.
True. I wish that was true last week.
But during the night dream, you are at the casino and you're winning a lot of money. Because you're not aware. In Sahaja Samadhi, you're aware you're the dreamer of the stream, but in ignorance, you are completely winning and losing at the casino. And all of it is the play of consciousness. Because you're not at the casino, you've never been at the casino. In fact, you are consciousness. You've never been in the world. The world is in you, appears to you, because you are consciousness. You're never born, and you're not hurting, you're never going to die, because you are consciousness. Upon waking up, you realize, oh, I did not travel to China. I did not win and lose. I did not marry and divorce. I did not. I was creating, enjoying my creation, enjoying my creativity, and enjoying forgetting myself, forgetting my reality, over my reality. And now, the satsang and other ways, I am choosing to recognize my reality as this formless presence, the creator and the perceiver as one. Okay.
Thank you, Magdi. That was very beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you all, Nathan, John, Frank, Mark, Joyce, Holly, and Shiva, Lynn, and Asmita. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thanks, Magdi. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate the questions.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.